Hey, y'all. We got everything set up. Welcome back to Live from Mississippi. Oh, me, it's been a long day. I think I am fixing to lower this tripod. So, y'all hang on just a second and let me shake y'all around a little bit. Y'all know this is live. We'll just be going all willy nilly and whatnot. I just decided I didn't want to be looking way up there at y'all tonight. Make sense for you? We're not cooking or nothing. It's hot. I have been in the road all day, running back and forth to here, there, to yonder, and solving problems and trying to get some stuff straightened out, stuff done, and completely missed a cooking that we had here at our cabin. But I didn't make it back in time to do it. I had to go to deer camp and put up a stand. But the reason I had to go do that was there was some people up there today to help me figure out where to put one of my other shooting houses. I took it up there and set it, but it's too close to where some of the other guys are hunting. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get where I wanted to get it. So when I stopped, it was too close to some of the other people. So I am gonna have to move it. So we rode and looked and found some good places to put it. We just got to get up there now and get it moved. And I put a ladder stand up while I was up there. So and then, bless his heart, my neighbor down the road, Mr. David Barrier, he broke the shaft on his bush hog, and I'm talking about the whole set of blades on there just come out. They laying on top now. So they got to get that shaft that goes in there to mount the blades too. Broke it all, hit a stump. So, but that's deer camp life. I'm finna have to go summon an iPad. Everybody running high. They was all out here. Brody, he's done stretched that hammock out. He'll be back out here shortly. Don't y'all worry. He ain't gonna miss live. He's probably in there trying to find something to sugar him up where he'll have plenty of energy for y'all. But I made a pot of coffee in there, and then I tell y'all what I done while I was making it. There was just enough to fill his cup up. So I poured it in the cup and put it in the microwave, warmed it up. I ain't gonna waste no coffee. Let me see if I can get him to bring me my iPad. Brody, I need the iPad. Ah, Michelle read sign language. I did like that, and she knew what I was talking about. Mama getting an iPad? Yeah, she can get it. We in good shape. What are you doing? Sit down in that chair over there. You got a story to tell? I know you always got some kind of a tale. I got a wiggly tooth. A wiggly tooth. Uh-oh. Get over there and pull that thing out on camera. I bet they just snatch it out. You gonna pull it out? No. Come on, let me. Yeah. I'll get my favorite. You get over there in your favorite spot then. We'll put this over there in case he face plants again tonight. We won't miss it. He face planted there the last weekend, y'all. I know y'all like to see him. We'll get that camera over there like that. How about that? That works for y'all. And here comes the other two legends. This one right here's been needy today. Like, I mean, up want to be held like a baby today. You ain't gonna sit down and be on camera. She said, hey, y'all, you remember last fall, the best show I put on? I said there was gonna be a part two, and this is the part two. Yeah, showing said we can't see you. Y'all can't see me. I'm seeing me on my iPad. Look, must be technical difficulties, huh? Oh Lord, hope we don't go to buffering and all that. Roscoe, is Pup wound up for you tonight? I believe Pup's wound up. He's gonna show out, ain't he? Let's go to sleep. Let me get on my train. I need extra. Dave, I have got TP poles cut. I got all of them cut now. I finished cutting them this week, and I've started peeling some of them. So as soon as we get enough poles peeled, we're gonna take the TP down, move it, and re-erect it, and I'll film doing all of that. I'm not gonna film peeling every pole. That would be excruciating for y'all. I may show that I am peeling them or something. We are working on, as soon as it is cool enough, we're gonna do a bunch of TP videos this year. I'm excited about it, and the trapping and the TPs and we gonna get geared up and get some stuff going. We getting it all in the works. We even got to go ground fishing this week. What is crawling on me? Is that a tick? No, it was an ant. The ants are horrible, y'all.
I just gave them extra energy.
Yeah, well, don't give them nothing else. Yeah, the ants around here is awful, all over everything. You can't have nothing. So, Brody, quit hollering now. We go to to the different internet eventually, but we can't do it right at the moment. Catch them on, they'd bite anything, and we struggled to catch them early in the year when the water was up. But that swamp down here, it's not a backwater stagnant water. It's flowing creek water through here. So sit down and behave now.
I want to tell them something.
We'll tell it.
My little showdown with this no plays on starts in.
If the buffering gets too bad, y'all, we may just shut everything down and call it a night. I don't know. It's seems to be getting pretty bad on this.
Well, it's still a video. Still off. Like we can still play this. I guess not.
Oh man. Yeah, it's buffering on all of them, y'all. It's not y'all's. It's the probably the internet or whatever.
Yeah, with it.
We get down below about 50 people, we'll just end everything and be back next weekend. Because there's not a lot I can do to remedy it. I do know that in a little while, as it cools off, we're starting to get into some shade. This is getting shady, so it ought to pick up in a little bit and get smoothed out. The only remedy is it don't do it in the winter. We don't have any problems with it through the cooler weather. It's when it starts getting hot when we start having trouble with it. So I think the sun shining on that satellite pad, that thing's like a computer. So what?
We.
Son, you need to think of what you're gonna say before you get my attention.
When do we end the live?
After a while.
No.
But y'all, it is good to see all of y'all tonight. Thank y'all for watching and tuning in. Maybe everything will level out and we'll be all right. It'll quit buffering and it'll straighten up. So I'm trying not to get into anything that like you're gonna miss something important. Dave, that is a 2000 series 1967 model Ford tractor back there. It's terrible. I got T-Mobile for a phone service thing, and it wouldn't run the cell camera. So in certain areas it's wonderful, but here it's not. And Verizon is worse than that. The only option that we got here other than Starlink is now they have Bell South Fiber, which is what we will go to. It's the best thing here now. Or it's AT&T Fiber. I don't know why I said Bell South. Our AT&T used to John, the Starlink was really, really fast when we first got it, and it is fast compared to anything else we've ever had out here rural. But now they say that once we got that fiber, and I need to go up there, I just ain't had time to go talk to them and tell them to come out here and hook it up. They come out here and ask about it when they first put it in the ground, and they started offering it to people. Well, what happened is they come up here and talk to me, and I told them I had a YouTube channel. I used a lot of internet. Well, they started talking about bundling all our phones and all that, and I was like, nope, I do not want AT&T phone service. Scratch that. And she didn't ever tell me that I could just pay for the internet and how much it was. She was wanting me to buy new phones and all this business. And I'm like, nope, I done been down that road. So that was why I didn't get it initially. Because with my Starlink, all I got to do is get on my app and turn my Starlink off. The equipment's mine, so it ain't like that. If something happens, I can turn it back on just by getting on the app and hitting a switch. So we probably gonna go to that here before long. I need to go up there and talk to them. I'll tell you what the holdup is. I don't. I'm leery of letting them come out here and start drilling holes in my walls to run them wires through. I don't like that not one bit. So I don't know if they had to bring the stuff out here and run the wire up to the house and then let me run it in and hook it up like I wanted to. I'd have probably done it. But anyway.
Thank you, Papa.
Mike Culpepper, you ain't trying to use that talk to text type stuff, are you? Because it'll mess you up with our accent. At least mine, it will. I make serious amount if I'm what I'm saying, but you got to watch. There'll be typed out some stuff you don't want people to read, and it ain't what I said either. It's there. I think they got their mind bad. What I think. Tripod. The problem with some of them are some excellent technicians. Brody. If you're gonna scream and holler, you're gonna have to go somewhere else. Okay? Can you stop the screaming and hollering? Huh?
Yeah.
All right.
But
Oh,
stop not coming back out.
well, whatever, as long as you ain't screaming and hollering. Um, but some of them have some really good technicians. Um, but the problem is they ain't all really good ones. It don't take but one that don't know what they're doing to show up at my house to really fire me up. Start drilling holes, tearing up stuff. It's like going to Walmart to get your oil changed. You know, you're more than likely gonna get the oil drain plug rounded off or stripped out. You know, it's just kind of one of them things. Dave said they run about a 3-inch deep trench, and then I'll be chewed that up with a lawnmower. Sometimes I mow more than 3 inches deep. Oh, I got to dig over here and put down a water line and get this sink that's laying out here put up. But I've had other things going on this week that I hadn't made it to that yet. I hadn't figured out how to get everything done. I got more projects going, and I do this every year. I keep thinking, one of these, I'm gonna get everything situated to where I don't have to like remodel and rebuild and add and work on stuff. We added on to the knife shop. I built this porch, and I mean, it seems like there's a never-ending list of additions and stuff to be built that you can just use what you got. I don't know. I'm always thinking about an improvement that needs to be done. Something that'll make life easier, I guess. And it ain't none of it made it easy. We woke up this morning to the hot water heaters running water all across the laundry room floor. And the refrigerator had quit cooling, so I had to go get another can of 134A and recharge my refrigerator up. It's got a slow leak somewhere. So I done figured out though, for the price of a refrigerator, you can buy a lot of that 134A and put in the back of it. I just leave a can hooked up back there and I'll pull it out from the wall, reach back there and crack that valve open a little bit like an IV and just let it sit there and run. I don't ever unhook it. It goes through a can about every month and a half, something like that. So it got a pretty good leak somewhere. I started to get me a can of stop leak and put in there, but I was afraid I'd gum the whole system up. It wouldn't work no more. That could go either way. It could solve your problem, but I kind of got my doubts, you know. Yeah, David Rushing is about like eating an elephant. You just got to do it one. You know, by the time I'm ready to pass away, I'll have everything about like I want it. I reckon when I turn about 80 something, we'll be like, well, we finally got everything situated. Now let's kick back and use it all. And then something will happen. I'll be in a nursing home. And somebody else will come in and tear it all down. Go, I don't know why he done this like this. Pack woman, the one Michelle was looking at this morning was $1,700, and I was thinking, $1,700, I can buy a lot of cans of refrigerant to put in that thing to keep the ice cream from melting. So that's usually the biggest battle we got. When the ice cream starts melting, it's a problem. So I don't know. JH Outdoor Living, how are you? I tell you one thing, JH, I'm about ready to start melting some lead into round ball. And I happen to have several nice pieces of lead that I can use. So I don't know where that come from. Do you? Unc said feed it some Pepto Bismol. Yeah, tripod. Brody will be old enough then to go, I don't know why this is like this. This is awful and destroy everything. I don't know how many times I have watched men work all their life to try to pay off a place, build a house, build a property up, and get everything nice and paid for, so that once they're gone, their wife and all will have a paid for place, and they won't be gone no time. And they trying to sell it. I know of about 5 or 6 I can think of, like right off the top of my hand, that's done that. And I'm like, and I get it. You know, they're like, well, I don't want to let the memories into this, but them memories is gonna be everywhere. You got to stop and think about the good memories that a man worked and paid for this, so you'd have something paid off to live in. It's nice. I don't know. So as I watch that, it makes me wonder. Really, but there ain't no need in working and trying to have stuff to try to please somebody else. You just build and have what you want that you enjoy as you living. Because when you're gone, whoever's left's probably gonna move anyway. So it's just a reality. I'm not throwing stones at anybody or criticizing. That's the reality of it. Oh, Brandon Wright says got some brand new baby phones walking. I've seen some little deer with spots. I did put a camera up today while I put my deer stand up. I put my favorite lean to up, my ladder stand. I love this old ladder stand because it comes apart and I can tote that thing in the woods anywhere, and I can prop it up on a tree, and I put a curtain around it. I'm gonna take some spray paint and spray on that curtain because it's done got real light colored, but it the curtain will kind of block my movement. And the reason my movement's important to block, you should just be still and not move. But when you're trying to film deer, you can't not move. I don't know why. I can't help it. I got to. So I need to buy me a good camera arm and get set up for deer season. I really want to do a better job this year of filming some hunts. So I don't know what I'm on. I ought to change cameras, but I need to get my camera out and really work on practice and filming with it, so that once I am up in a deer stand, I ain't fumbling around trying to figure it out when a deer walks out. You know what I mean? But I want to film some hunts and do decent, because we're gonna hunt a lot of public land this year. I am going to literally I've got the shooting houses and the feeders set up really so I can take Brody and I can take my dad. A lot of people they get upset. I can't eat real hunting. Well, you know, you do what's practical and what you got to do for whatever situation you're in. That's like corn. I would prefer not to feed any corn at all if I could get away with it. But when you join a club and there's 50 other feeders out there, 20 members has got 3 feeders, 4 feeders apiece. What is that? That's almost 80 feeders out there. So possibly no telling how many when you join, if you next to the property line, how many feeders are there? So in 2,000 acres, I know there's probably 80 feeders on it. Oh, if you don't put corn out after the acorns is gone, which up there we're in pine thicket, there really is no acorns up there, not to amount to nothing. I looked hard today for a white oak tree. I never did see one. I seen some hickory trees. I seen a couple of red oak trees. I never did find a white oak acorn tree. Now there's probably some in certain spots. I did not locate any. So my stand is in there was where there's not really going to be a food source, but it is a travel way for deer. So I'll have to put a corn feeder in there, and but we're gonna hunt some public land. I'm gonna literally tote my ladder stand or my climber stand on some public land, and we're gonna bow hunt a good bit the early part of the season, and try to kill some deer that way, where it's just. And then I'm gonna do a good bit of spot and stalk this year. I want to shoot some deer with my 45-70 and them situation with a rifle, I'm comfortable just slipping around on the ground in public land, especially places that I'm exploring. And up there around the river camp, there is some public land up there, and we're gonna hunt on it some. So I don't know that we'll kill no giant bucks this year. We may not kill nothing but those, but I'm meat hunting, so it really don't matter to me about that. My biggest priority this year with the shooting houses is to get Brody to see some deer, and we got to shoot his rifle, set it up, and see if it's where he can kill a deer this year. But I don't know. JH, I'm gonna get some good use out of them lead ingots. I have not wasted them. I put them to the side. I'm wanting to shoot my muzzleloader stuff. I got the one that Thomas sent me that I have really never shot. I was gonna shoot it last year, and things just didn't work out. Life got crazy last year. We had a lot going on, and then when I got to hunting, there really wasn't a place over there I could hunt with it, and I wound up shooting a deer with a 30-30 instead of taking it to hunt. But this year, I am gonna hunt with a muzzleloader some. So any of the primitive weapon seasons, I'm gonna hunt black powder most definitely. If we have a black powder season in John, Michelle is in yonder. She didn't want to be on camera. Jerry, I've got one of them Tacticams, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I tried and tried to use it, but the footage on it is awful. By the time I edit it and put it up beside this, I mean you can see there's a deer out there, but it's grainy. The low light and all of that stuff, it was awful. If you can film with it with a light or either up in the middle of the day, you do sort of okay. But dusk dark, you can forget it. And that when them deer start coming out and it's right before dark, it's low enough light that thing you can't see nothing. And I just absolutely found it frustrating, and I don't even tote it no more. But I do have one. Yeah, y'all, deer season will be here before you know it. Dave, we changed the site and adjusted some stuff. I really should have sent that rifle back to Marlin or Ruger. And Marlin is owned by Ruger, or at least that's who made it. And let them redo it or send me another rifle. but I did get it where I could hunt with it, and it's all right. They just cut the dovetail in it crooked. I could probably take a file and straighten it up, but why should I have to do that? But we changed sights, and I adjusted everything to where I got it sighted in. A lot of people would have put a scope on it, and more than likely, my eyes will get bad enough eventually because my eyes are getting bad fast that I will have to probably put a scope on it eventually. But I will fight it as long as I can. I'm not against scopes. I've got scopes on most of my other guns now, but a lever action and a muzzle loader, I fight putting a scope on there as long as I can. They don't belong there. They don't fit there. They don't look right there until it becomes an. I understand that these people that's got them because they can't see without them. I get it. I ain't mad at you for putting one on there. I just, I just don't. I don't want it on mine yet. I ain't surrendered yet. Pack woman, I have looked at natural stuff in my eyes, but it's a thing with age that everybody fights, and it's something about the retina starts detaching, and they say there's really no reversing it. I don't know. Uh, I would love to find a remedy for that and my hearing. My hearing, I can't hear hardly nothing half the time. So Jason, you don't get it. Y'all's rut though starts way before ours does. Our rut don't start till Christmas. Rut here kicks in the week between right about Christmas time to New Year's is when our rut is wide open. So, Unc said, "What? Yeah, that's what I do." Yeah, I told Brody the other day we was walking through Walmart yesterday, and he was on the front of the bug. He likes to ride on the bug, and he was just a talking. I said, "Son, you got to look at me when you talk to me. I can't read your lips, and you looking the other way." I can't help it. It's just a reality of things. Lily's, how's the bees? The bees are doing well. The ones we rescued, Brother Dempsey took them, and he had a box, a hive that was empty. He had a place set up ready to put them in, and so he took them home, put them in there. He said they're doing well. Mine out here, I need to look at them this first of this coming week. I probably should have looked at them this week. I hadn't had time. They're not hurting, but I need to check on them because if they're starting to draw all that comb back out and fill it back up pretty quick, if right at the 1st of September around Labor Day, if it's full and ready to be harvested, we're going to pull it off again, and I may sell some honey then. But if not, I'm gonna just add the third box. If they've taken a while to fill it back up, and let them keep everything for the winter. I don't want to strain them through the winter time. But now here in Mississippi, it stays warm enough long enough. Our goldenrod and all of that stuff will bloom into the fall far enough till late October. We got to the end of October for them to harvest honey. So 2 months is plenty. And they filled that up from nothing in 2 months. I mean, absolutely nothing. So just one box, I should be able to pull honey off again, provided they still got the same stuff to harvest pollen or nectar off of. But we'll see. We'll see. It's a learning thing for me. And I hadn't went at any of these videos. I get a lot of comments on what is this, and you need to do that, and you need to, and I don't mean no offense to nobody. I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way, but I'm not taking advice from anybody because I don't know what I'm doing. And I've seen that Brother Dempsey, that's helping me, has been very successful in what he's doing. His methods work really well, and me using his methods has produced me a bunch of honey fast, which I really wasn't intending to harvest honey this year. I never dreamed I was going to get honey. Our goal was, well, we might harvest honey next year. But him helping me and walk me through this, he's been very successful with it, and I'm being very successful. So I'm just following his guidance. So everybody says, do this, do that, do this. And I just ignore it and go on. And I ain't saying they're wrong by no means. And that's why I really hadn't followed any other advice because they could be right. I don't have any way of knowing. I'm sure they are to a degree. But being that I don't know, and this man gave me these bees and gave me these boxes and is helping me, I'm going to follow his advice, at least for now, until I have a good reason to not follow it. You know what I mean? Um, and it's a learning curve. And I don't mind people giving advice because we read it. Everybody else reads it. It's there's people that may be looking for advice that it's helping them. So don't refrain from giving the advice. I ain't saying that at all. I'm just merely saying why I personally have not like took other people's advice out of the comments. Some of it I have seen seem to be really good tips. I'm gonna follow what we doing right now, at least for the first year or so, till I get a good feel of what is going on, because I absolutely do not know what I'm doing with this. Uh, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy fooling with the bees. Donnie, I'm hoping that my dad gets to go hunt. The stand that I put a clip in it is right on the road. Now, up there in this club, this is not public roads. I know people like, oh, you can't hunt the roads. Well, all of this is a huge block of land that is owned by a timber company. And these timber companies build their own roads all through their timber so that the log trucks can safely go in and out and meet each other and do what they got to do to get this timber out of there. In fact, they're cutting the seed pines off of our property, one block of our property now. The log trucks are up there. And the logging equipment, the cutters, the skidders, all that stuff, dozers sitting there. But what it's not hurting the hunting any. I mean, that's just part of it. You got other blocks, and it's not anywhere that I was putting a stand or wasn't planning on it anyway. So what they do up there is this particular timber company, they'll come in and log a tract of timber and they'll leave a pine tree here, there, and yonder. And they'll wait till it grows up head high like 2 years later. And then they'll come back in and they'll cut those single trees back out, those seed pines. So what they're doing is they're letting those trees seed out a couple of years and drop seeds all over that. And it seems to work really well for them. So they're up there logging them now. But it's all timber company land and it's this block. So the stand that we've got right on the road hunt somewhere else. So that's part of the reasons for that kind of stuff. Because obviously you're not going to pull up and leave your truck sitting right there and climb up in a stand. You know, so um, local life outdoors. How are you tonight? I am not selling honey just yet. If like I said, if I get to harvest honey again this year, I will sell some honey. I've got a we had a 5 gallon bucket, well that lard bucket, and then 6 quart jars. Well, the 6 quart jars is gone. I gave my mom and them 2 jars. I gave Michelle's mom and daddy a couple of jars. Uh, Somebody else I give a jar to. I don't know. I give a jar to. I know what I did. I give my pastor a couple of jars because I felt like I need to pay my tithes on what the Lord's blessed me with. Some of y'all may not do that, may not believe in it. I don't know. I ain't even gonna argue about that. I do because I have watched God bless me. The more I give, the more He gives back to me. So I took some of that honey and I took it up there to the preacher and give him 2 jars. So the jars are already gone. Well, Lissy showed up. I mean, I've got honey. Do you want some honey? Yeah, I've got a jar. I want to put it in. I said, well, good, because it's in a bucket. You and Mama had to dip it out. So I'm assuming I really didn't even ask. she was up here today. I'm assuming that she got a jar. So that is kind of my cache of honey that I'm gonna make it through the winter and eat on, and I put it in my coffee and such as that. But if I get to pull honey off again, I'll have another bucket full of honey. Yeah, I'll sell honey then. I probably won't put the next in a bucket. I'll probably have me a whole bunch of quart jars or pint jars or either some of both, and I'll sell them. I'll probably sell it for like $12.50 a pint and about 25 a quart be the going price. Problem is, then it's gonna have shipping added to it, and so we'll have to see. I'm a little leery about this because FDA they like for you to dabble in your business. I'm leery of just selling my plantain salve to just whoever. Oh, I had somebody come in and bought some plantain salve, and the stuff just looked kind of. I just ignored it. Because I mean, I ain't making nothing off of it. It ain't like I'm getting rich selling it. It's more to help people. But then you get somebody that'll come along and hey, you're helping people. I think they'd rather see us all get sick and die than help one another. So you know how it is. Wind up in the penitentiary for selling a $13 jar of plantain salve or a $15 jar of honey, I mean, wind up in the penitentiary. I know a man went to jail for selling honey. But now it wasn't real honey. He was taking sorghum molasses and putting a honey label on there and might have got in trouble over that. You'd have thought the way they arrested him, you'd have thought he'd been selling for the cartel. I mean, they got serious. I had to be careful with all that. Hey, will you fill this cup up for me?
Did you want some of that fish?
And we got fish.
I told you I went and brought all that.
I didn't know. Yeah, pour that out for you.
Hey, everybody.
He got mad at me, run off because I got on to him. He kept screaming and hollering. I begged him not to. Then he left. David, he got a wiggly tooth, he called it. I told him, I said, you need to pull that out on camera. I don't know if he's gonna do it or not. Harmon said parking the truck right under the stand is what my brother does. Before we throw rocks at these people that park right there by their stand, I hate to tell y'all how many deer I have shot out of the truck window. Now, we wasn't driving down the road. Well, I might have in the past. I ain't gonna say if I did or didn't. Most of them, we would like certain places. We'd just pull a truck up on a log road, and sit there and look out the window. And I don't know how many deer I've killed that way. My dad's killed some deer that way over the property that we've got near here. He's got a feeder in the woods, and he just drive his truck up. He said, "I'm gonna just set in the truck," and you'd think that wouldn't work, but it does. I mean, they get used to vehicles zipping up and down the road, and man, you can sit there in that truck, roll the windows up, and listen to the radio, and they don't know doodle. Your scent's all contained, and when deer coming, you just ease the window down, slide that gun barrel out there on the mirror, and down he went. So I like to be in the woods. I'm eyeballing that plate she's toting around, y'all.
You tell what Brody said about his fish.
I ain't gonna tell that. I can't tell what he said. Y'all see this? They cooked fish over at the cabin today. This is Superior Catfish, and they have excellent fish. I'll tell you about Brody. I don't say exactly what he said, but he wasn't happy about it not being fish we'd just caught. He thought we should have went and caught fish we was gonna fry fish, which I totally agree with. But Superior Catfish is good fish, and that is what we're eating tonight is Superior Catfish. I'm eating leftovers. Whoa, pup! I like to kick pup in the mouth. Is this all we got?
No, that's a whole big old dish pan.
Well, why'd I only get 3 pieces?
I'll bring the.
And wait, hang on. 2 things I got to solve right here. Hold on. Dear Lord, we're so thankful for this food. We pray that you bless it to nourish our bodies, to give us strength and good health. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I firmly believe in saying the blessing over your food. And I think it's in Timothy. The Bible literally says your food is sanctified through prayer. So all that stuff that's in food that people worry about, oh, this will kill you and that'll kill you. I really believe if you pray over it, it'll be all right. I'm serious about that. You may disagree, that's fine. The next thing I was going to address is I did acknowledge the fact that my wife brought me a plate out here and give it to me and then run back in there and got me another plate and coffee.
Yeah, I'm just ain't in no shape
Thank
to
you.
be on camera tonight.
Why?
My hair ain't fixed. I ain't.
Mine's messed up too. Mine's windblown. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, I do have a pretty good wife.
I'm not just being snobby.
She might be mad at y'all not wanting to be on camera, but she's pretty good to me. I'm sorry. Yeah, you just have to be jealous. She likes me better than y'all. That's all.
Like, come on.
Giving them in the morning and perked her up.
Why no bacon treats?
We done fed all the bacon treats. Don't you get no treats out tonight? They done had treats today. If you walk Freddie with that treat bag, he'll fatten them up. Mm-mm. I am gonna get to eat today. I thought I was gonna get to eat today. That's all right. I told them I'd just eat yesterday. It'd be all right. As long as I don't go 3 or 4 days, I make it. I got plenty reserved. You know what I mean? My tank don't get empty fast. I just got the habit of eating 3 times a day, at least twice. Is that what y'all do? I just ain't figured out where that 4th meal is I'm missing. I'm worried about that. We got hoodoo somewhere along the way. I'm gonna tell y'all. And I'll tell you how I know. I've mentioned this before, but you got breakfast, lunch, dinner, and supper. Now, how many fingers am I holding up? Now, how many times you eat in a day? That's what I thought. We all getting took advantage of somewhere along the road. Let me go over that again for those of you that missed it. It might be a little slow or sitting too far in the back of the room. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and supper. And that ain't counting all that stuff on the Lord of the Rings where he went through second breakfast and brunch and all that stuff. Now, we ain't even going to get into all of that. I ate 4 meals and we only eating 3. Now, I don't know what happened somewhere, but I think we got to do. I'll tell you what it is. It's cause some employer didn't want you stopping work to eat twice while you was on your shift. That's what it amounted to. See, I'm at home work for myself. I'll stop eating when I get good. The sad thing is I eat less doing that than when I was working a job. I worked right through lunch working for myself. Wouldn't even notice it. When I was working for somebody else, man, it'd get 12 o'clock. I'd done quit 11:30, standing around watching the clock for 30 minutes. Y'all know y'all done it too. One good meal and morning and afternoon tea. Bobby, I'm with you on that midnight snack now. There's times I want it, but now I'm gonna tell you how to curve that midnight snack. See, I don't eat dessert when I eat a meal. My dad-in-law right the opposite. My dad-in-law, he gets through his plate, sits down, he's looking for something sweet to eat right then. I'm like, man, I'm so full of chicken wings. I can't hold no pie right now. Give me about 2 hours, an hour and a half at least. I can put a hurting on that pie then, you know. Um, but I'll eat about, well, this time of year about 9:30. Now we try to eat 7:30, 8 o'clock. We getting a little better about this. Stay daylight. I ain't got sense enough to come in until it gets dark. And but I come in and eat supper. We get through within about an hour or two. I go get me that big old bowl of ice cream. Now, I don't do it every night, but I like to. If you'll eat enough ice cream by 10 o'clock, you won't get back up at midnight, want something else to eat. I did not say any of this was healthy for you. That's why I got all this hanging over my belt. It's killing me, I promise you. But who wants to live forever anyway? I'm gonna tell y'all. I bet Methuselah was dreading that 900th birthday. He probably glad didn't see it. Don't you know he was wore out with folks? He done seen enough, and he was like, man, these folks ain't never going home. Hmm. A cherry cobbler. Now, I've had a lot of cobblers, but I ain't never had a cherry cobbler. I made a fig cobbler last year. That's pretty good. Yeah, pack woman. That's when I'm gonna worry about living forever. It ain't. I ain't want to live forever here. Not the way things are now. I mean, I could, but he'd have to remove a bunch of stuff for me to want to live here forever. All right, I'm caught up on. I think I'm caught up on them. I don't know. Mop the rest of this ketchup out of this paper plate. Son, that's the saddest eyes I ever seen in my life. Yeah. Y'all knew I was gonna give him a bite. You want nothing? You think of nothing that'd be good? You gonna stand up for it? That's my buddy right there, y'all. I could not give him a bite of that good superior cat feed. Rhonda, I ain't never had cherry cobbler. I'll have to look into that. Beaver ice cream before bed gives you nightmares. I had never heard of such. And figure me out this. How'd you know it was ice cream that done it? Just a thought. I mean, blame it on something else. You know, I mean, I'd come up with something. Maybe it was, I'd say it's a doorway I kept walking through. Every time I walk through this doorway, I have nightmares. You know, I mean, that's logical, ain't it? I would have come up with anything to blame it on other than ice cream. I mean, if that's the case for me, I'd probably have nightmares pretty regular, and I would never figure out what was causing it because I'd have never resorted to saying it was ice cream. Oh Lord. Well, Michelle Deaver said that ice cream give him nightmares.
Why?
I don't know. I told him I never would have blamed it on the ice cream.
Brady, here's your Gatorade.
I'd have never figured out what was causing it. I'd have died having nightmares.
Brady's got cramps in his leg. I told him he needed
Cramps?
Yeah.
They would get the ad.
That's good coffee. I tell y'all why that cup of coffee right there is so good. We just finished off the bag of coffee we was drinking, and I had a brand new can of chock full of nuts, and I just peeled that full thing off the top, and I peeled it all the way off and threw it in the garbage. And I don't know why people just tear them a little hole in that. That don't sit well with me. What's the problem? You need me to open that? But I tore it all off and made me and that's the first cup of coffee out of that. Please don't knock it over. Best cup of coffee I've had all morning. There you go. Now you got it? Deaver, you know I'm picking at you about the ice cream now. Don't get upset with me. I'm just giving you a hard time because I like ice cream. I mean, nightmare, you don't live through it. So I'd just, like, some things you just have to face, like eating at Mexican restaurant. You know you're gonna pay for it when you get home, but you go eat anyway. And you just know, long as I got plenty of Charmin, it'll all be all right. And so the ice cream, I'd have to eat the ice cream. No, it might be rough through the night, but I'll wake up in the morning, it'll all be all right. You scared me with that. I thought I was having a nightmare. It's probably the coffee. Jerry, good to see you tonight. Have a good night. Eric Champagne, what you gonna do with 8 quarts of pickles? I couldn't eat 8 quarts of pickles in the next 2 years. 3 years, probably. I don't know. We still got pickles from 3 or 4 years ago. I told Michelle this year we wasn't making no pickles. I wasn't gonna do it. About pickled my innards we eat some in one year. You make you wonder if you eat a lot of pickled stuff, will it pickle your innards? What?
Oh, it was comment about Sparkle.
Jennifer, but I ain't seen her on here tonight. Harmon, have you ever tried that chock full of nuts? You can get on Amazon and order it for a big old can for $20. Hey, 19.90 something. You got that Prime, you can get that free shipping. Yeah. Hey, it's good coffee. I don't even know which one of y'all got me hung up on it. It was in the comments. One of y'all sent me some chock full of nuts coffee. Got me hooked on it. I'll tell y'all something else that'll give you some dreams. Now, I ain't had bad dreams, but it's given me vivid dreams, and that's that wild lettuce. You take a good dose of that wild lettuce to help you sleep. It's a sleep aid, and it's safe and natural, but you'll dream some crazy stuff that night. I dreamed some off the wall stuff last night because I finished that resin yesterday evening. I finished making that video. It'll be out next week. I ain't even started editing on it. But I did bake the resin. I got a little old vial of it. And of course, in the process that I had to lick a spoon several times to clean it off, you know. And so
Dad.
Aunt Ryan, it's chock full of nuts coffee. It's coffee bean, but it's chock full of nuts. Got the yellow lid on there. Search it on Amazon. What, Brady?
Y'all, y'all keep calling about my channel.
Oh, don't start that up again.
One more time.
Oh no, they doesn't give you enough ideas for a channel name that you ain't never gonna start. No way. You don't even know how to read. You can't have a channel till you learn to read, boy. You got to read the comments. I ain't reading them to you.
Hey, I'm gonna be different game.
Read comment. You got to learn to read the comment. You gonna drink this Gatorade before it gets hot?
Can't reach it.
Aunt said, never mind.
Tell it.
I'll tell you after the live. I better not. Somebody might take it the wrong way. It's harmless fun.
Tell me.
I can't. We'll talk about it later.
Just tell you.
JH, have a good night. Y'all be good up there in the Midwest.
Tell it. Every comment.
You sound like a preacher at testimonial service. Tell it all, brother. Tell it all.
Oh,
Hey, some of them get up there and get to testify, and you get there. I don't believe I'd have told that. Might not ought to tell it all. Keep some of it to yourself. Brady, you gonna tell them about your trapping this week? What all did you trap this week? Rats and raccoons. We caught one or two raccoons. Two, didn't we? How many rats we caught? We shot one rat, didn't we? We better not tell them about that. They liable to little screen liable to go dark. He gets into detail about that one we shot. We messed him up. He was at close range.
Yeah.
He peeped up over a piece of tin right there pretty close. I think a muzzle blast got him more than the bullet did. It messed him up. We caught a couple of rats in traps down there. We got a bunch of Victor rat traps.
He was decapitated.
We've done better with the. I found out that you can trap more than one critter on peanut butter. If you use cheese, one trapping and it's gone. And the ants, they'll get all over the cheese. You have better success with the peanut butter. Oh, time for the chicken to go to sleep.
What chicken? Go
I hadn't seen him. He might be watching, but he ain't live. Not in the chat room. We get a bunch of folks that watch it, don't want to talk. They just like to watch. So we appreciate all y'all that ain't keyboard, them chicken pecking. Well, I can't type, with my thumbs too good no more. I got them old big thumbs. I do my best editing right after I hit the send, then I had to click on it and re-edit it.
me about my channel.
They done did. Deaver, we hadn't been able to figure out nothing with the camping. Everywhere we've looked at, they booked up. You can't rent a bunch of spots together. And we already getting pushed for we ain't got time to put it together. I'll tell y'all what's gonna happen. We're gonna be back at Pickensville in the spring, in mid-April. I know that for a fact. So if we don't pull this off in the fall, I know we're good. And the problem is all the campgrounds that I can tell or where I would want to be and do something are booked up. The fall is when apparently everybody decides to go camping.
Froggy.
Yeah.
See that froggy over there? You see?
I don't see him, son.
He went behind the pot.
Okay. We got a toady frog out here.
Yeah. I think he's enjoying the live, but he's still falling in.
These mosquitoes is getting bad.
I got your blood.
So, Deaver, I don't know what we're gonna do about the camp. I wanted to. The problem is I'm starting to get dates coming up. I'm booked at an event. The one of the weekends we've got a working over in September at the deer camp. We got a working next weekend. I don't know that I'll be home for the live. Now, I hope I am, but I can't guarantee it next week. I wanted to. We can't get spots booked. And after about twice of trying to book a spot somewhere and they we pull up, I was like, this ain't gonna work. I just ain't able to pull it off, I reckon. Apparently we should have planned it way in advance. Matt, the problem is we was shooting for middle of September, and that's in just a matter of weeks, and everything's booked up. There's no way we can all get in an area together. I'm sure that campground's a pretty campground. We had several picked that looked like nice campgrounds, like that piney up at Land Between the Lakes looked nice, but just couldn't get it.
Is this like falling? Dad?
I got a mosquito trying to drain me. What, Brody?
Does this like falling?
Not really.
It looks like a carnival ride.
Yeah.
Boy.
He's pressure checking them straps, I'll tell you. If y'all want to know if something's good, he's tested that, and it's worth all $5. Well, I spent about $8, maybe $10. I don't remember. It wasn't much. We got the good out of it. Yeah, I thought Piney looked like a nice campground, but yeah, Donnie, sometimes you can try to force things and the problem is for me in the fall, fall is a really busy time and spring though is busy too. I have tapered off on spring stuff. Next year, we're not gonna hatch a bunch of chickens. Obviously, we haven't done that in the last 2 years. I got away from the game fowl. I have very few game fowl birds anymore. I did take on some more chickens the other week, but they just laying chickens. I've got them set up where I can feed them, put a big feeder in there, and I can walk off and stay gone 2 or 3 days if I need to. And that's what I'm trying to set everything up on. Next year, gardening, we're not planting a whole hill. Gardening videos don't get me any views. I garden just because I like to garden, but it becomes such a job. We don't eat all the stuff we grow. I give a bunch away, but we can only eat so much stuff. So when I get through with this water line, I'm going to put a bed right up here at the back of the house that I can run my air conditioner drip down into. Let it sit there in water, and I'm going to put tomatoes down through there and some peppers all the way down the back of the house. I'm going to build it out of logs or something and soak them in oil and all. And I'm going to do that, fill that up with dirt, and that'll be part of my tomatoes. And then I've got to move some stuff. This down here where I've been planting every year is full of morning glories. Take everything. The blight has got all in the tomatoes. It's a nightmare down there. So we're gonna back off on the gardening. So maybe next year I won't be like wide open trying to plant garden and work garden all through the early part of the year. I want to fish. Fishing is important to me. It's a big part of the channel. You can eat fish as well as you can eat vegetables out of the garden. So I mean, you know what I mean? But we've got canned tomatoes that we won't probably eat in the next 2 or 3 years. I've got seed. I don't need anything out of the garden. So we don't eat a lot of pickled stuff. I can plant a couple of rows of peas one evening, plow them a few times and pick them. But we probably got more peas than we'll eat in 2 years. So I don't even know if I'll do that. I'm thinking next year I'm gonna just lay off of it and let it. We'll see though. It's hard when it gets springtime. You get to thinking, oh, I want to plant. But if I want to go camping and be on the river, and we got that river property up there, I can't be gone up there fishing a lot and have a garden here that's got to be seen after. So that's the whole issue. I'm gonna spend some time up yonder on that river. Just soon as I get where I can park a camper on it, y'all will see. Aunt Ryan, I'll have to find this. Hang on, I tell you what, I'm on let me look right now. I may can find it on my Amazon app on here. Let me look. Let me look. Oh, let me find my order. Uh, let's search. There it is. It's still him. It is now. Oh, it says currently unavailable. Well, you out on that. Can't share no link. It was a wine manor outdoor garden 2-person cotton hammock. Let's see if they got it under another company. Cotton hammock. Oh yeah, they got one here just about like it. Looks like the same picture. This one comes with some straps. It's $25. I didn't give near about that for mine. Oh wait, there's some more down here. Let me look. Hang on, give me a second. I'll find y'all one. Uh, I believe this is it. Where does that say? Does it say I found it. I just got to I got to figure out how to copy the link to it. Oh, it ain't showing me where I can copy associates link. Copy associates link. Let's see what we got here now. It's on there now. There y'all go. You want a link to the hammock? There it is. That woman, you kind of threw me for a loop when you said you need to go get lunch. I forgot you're in Australia and it's other side of the world, a different hemisphere. Hello, Casey. How are you tonight? Jennifer Ocean is here, Brody. That thing just slid down. Now your feet's dragging the ground, ain't it? What you gonna see? You gotta push your back up, son. There you go. Yeah, them ain'ts is bad. Donnie, thank you so much. Mark, I don't know if we can wear that now. I mean, the sun has faded it, but that thing been tough. It's been hanging right there for I know 2 years.
Thank you. Dad,
What?
thank you.
Yeah. Eric Champagne, no, we are not in the same deer camp that we was in last year. That camp dissolved. I really don't know what the status is this year. All I know is the people that I got in with said they wasn't going to be a club this year. Now, what actually happens, I don't know. They were talking about dividing the land up. The last I heard is some of the guys that was running the club was just going to lease part of it for their personal use. They didn't want to deal with the club no more. So I really don't know what to tell y'all on it, but it's no longer a club. So it wasn't like I got kicked out or got mad and left or whatever. It just they decided they were gonna have a club. So I joined one with Mr. Petey Fresh Hour. Y'all see him come in on the live a lot. He is in it. Mr. David Barrier that makes the knives, and my buddy, I trapped some otters and stuff on his place. He's in it. They got me in this club, and so it's a good little old club. The dues wasn't near as bad as they was over where I was at. It's there's a lot more active people hunting in it, so it's a little more crowded, but they have plenty deer, plenty places to hunt. So I think it'll be a good deer season. But it's gonna be a place I can take Brody up there, hopefully, and we can sit shooting houses and see deer. So we'll see how it goes. Pack woman, you gone. Have a good one. Brody Blake from Tennessee said hello to you.
Hey,
Say hey, Blake.
Blake.
Jennifer said if that hammock hit the ground, spark, she was gonna send Sparkles to get it. Brody gets fascinated with Sparkles. Sparkles tears the arms off of his toys too, I think. We find a lot of men that the arms is broke off of and Legos is broke. Usually after they've laid in the floor all night. I know Sparkles is doing it. It ain't somebody with big bare feet coming through and stepping on them, I know. We super glued Spider-Man's arm back on.
Yeah.
Butterfly Farms, how are you tonight?
What's that? A lot of people.
Yeah, we got about 183 people. And you know what? I ain't even hit my own like, but 73 likes now. That like, that's that where it says thumbs up. You touch that. Just touch it and see what happens. Yeah.
Thumbs down.
I don't know what it'll do, but that where you set thumbs up, just touch it and see what happens. See if it changes color.
Don't press this one. Don't. No.
Oh Lord.
Don't press it. Right. If it happened on your channel, y'all would not like it.
What?
Doing a thumbs down.
Oh, don't yeah, he said don't do the thumbs down. That was mean. Mean and hateful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mean boy.
No.
Y'all, I've been going through some of my traps. Trying to sort through what I'm actually gonna use and get them prepped and stuff. I got a bunch of dog proofs that I'm not familiar with. I can't remember the brand name on them. He dipped them in white paint, but on the bottom they don't stick in the ground like a dupe. They just got the V on the bottom. So did they just bait them and lay them down, or is they something I'm missing on how to set that up some way or another? Brian from Poverty Hill, how are you, man? Good to see you tonight. Kingsport, Texas, Wayne Darnell. Empty pockets trapping. Empty pockets, how you set them dog proofs? Got that little V on the bottom. I mean, I know how to set it, but how do you make it stand up or you just lay it down? I know old Coon Creek Outdoors, he likes to just lay them down out there. It works. I'm sure it'll work here. I'll tell you this, the ain'ts, they'll wrap them marshmallows up. We got better luck right now with dry catfish. Somebody told me to use catfish food. We're going to try catfish food in some of them. But see, the thing about standing them up, it keeps the bait down in the bottom. If you lay them down, that bait get all
Dad,
what? Yeah. Well, you done wore it out. You done stretched it.
stretch. You tighten it up tight. Tighten it up too much.
I didn't tighten it up too much. You swinging too hard. You done wore it out. Done stretched the straps out.
Look, you feed a hammock.
Huh?
Like you feed a hammock.
What do you feed a hammock? Cotton balls, corn.
Corn.
Yeah, empty pockets. That's what I've always used as dukes with the pin on the bottom. But all these traps I got, there's some different brands in there, which are well-known brands. I mean, I've got traps for days, and a bunch of really good traps. I got some of them big old long springs, and I'm like, man, I want it. They coyote traps. I don't remember what brand they are. I found them in the bottom of a box today and got to them. And I'm like, I really want to trap beavers with these, but them big old big long springs, man, that spring hard to get mashed down. I'm used to in the mud. I can them Duke 650s. I can push the side over and pop them open, and that thing I can set it in the mud on my leg. Well, these things are a little different, so I'm gonna have to. I may have to start working out and get where I can. I guess I need to. I don't know what I need to find some workout to do where I can handle them. Well, Greg, that V won't go in the ground right now. Our ground about hard as a concrete slab out here right now. Now this winter, I could probably do that. Pretty sure I can in the winter. I thought about tacking me a little rod to it, but I can take some zip ties and put me a nail in the ground and put it to it, if I need to. I can figure it out. I ain't like handicapped, but I didn't know if I was like missing something like really obvious. I know a lot, but I don't think I know everything. I'll tell y'all, I don't. I may not admit it in the comment, but I don't know everything. I get some folks, they really like to line me out. I had this fellow on Facebook. He got all worked up and he was mad. He said that catching them grinnell when the water was low was like shooting fish in a barrel. It was too easy. And I was bragging I mean, he went on this big old rant. I said, yeah, it's easy. I said, at least I ain't on somebody else's page whining. But I built my own page to run my mouth on. I told him, I said, I reckon that was easy too, though, wouldn't it? Folks, they just like to be mean. They ain't got nothing else to do. Donnie, I like my 650s. The 850, my opinion, I don't think it's necessary. I don't see where it. I don't know. I don't see the benefit to it really. There's some people that love them. I'm for them using them. I ain't. But even beaver trapping, the 650 is plenty. The only thing I have ever missed beavers on is my number 4 coil springs. And I think it's cause they older and the springs is weaker. I don't know. But I dyed them and that dye hadn't held up really well on them. I'm probably gonna heat that up and re-dye them, and then I'm gonna wax them. I've got all the stuff to wax, so I need to wax all them traps, and that'll help keep that dye down in there good. So we're gonna do that here before when it cools off a little bit. We can get out there and fire everything up. I'd do that just because I like doing it. I really think the most practical thing is paint, and realistic. But I'm
Dad,
looking forward to trapping season this year. I really am. What, Brody?
y'all, don't last well, y'all never commented about my challenge
They
about
did too.
Star Wars.
You just can't read.
Star Wars.
You got to learn to read first.
Let me
You
talk.
no, you learn to read.
Jurassic Park and Star Wars.
You can't even read your own name.
Can y'all comment about Jurassic Park and Star Wars?
And they don't like Jurassic Park and Star Wars. We like hunting and trapping and fishing, catching grinnell. You believe he wouldn't even go grinnell fishing with me? Hey, Miss Alicia Stringer from Foxworth, Mississippi. Thank you so much. Oh, we went fishing, me and Mr. Carey did. Brody, he wasn't even here. He don't come home much no more. You missed a good grinnell fishing trip. You know that? We're gonna go back this week.
Yeah.
We might slip off and catch some more, reckon. We need to get up there to the river camp and get our meter box put on where we can turn the air conditioning unit on up there, ain't we? Y'all know what I'm ready to do? More than anything in this world, I want to smell oak wood burning. There's something about the smell of oak wood burning that just, it's like therapy to me.
Are you ready for Christmas like me?
Sparkles just left one of your toys out there, they said. Seen him run across the yard. Yeah. David Russian, now you know good and well I eat all three of them grinnell. I mean, we eat every bite of it. I saved Brody 2 pieces and he wouldn't eat them, and Roscoe got to snack on them. But me and Carrie and my daddy come up here and we sit here and eat most of it. And then I eat the rest of it for supper last night. A lot of people will tell you that bowfin ain't good warmed up later. You got to eat it hot. After that, it's nasty. I'm like, no, man, you're wrong. If you cook it right and it's good to start with, it's still good. Now, I think them folks that let it get mushy and they still trying to cook them patties, that probably does got to be hot and eat it. I would assume. Local Life, we got a link to that hammock up. You'll have to get you a pair of them. Get you 2 or 10. Charlie Haley, I'm so ready to build a fire. It's worrying me bad. It's too hot. I'm ready to burn some meat over a fire. I'm just gonna tell you. It's a hot, which it's not as hot this week as it was last week, but or at least the latter part of the week ain't as hot as the first part of the week and last week. But it's just been so hot. You don't feel like cooking. You don't feel like eating. You don't feel like doing a whole lot of nothing. By about dinner, I feel wore slam out. I had to just kick myself into gear, and that's why I ain't getting a whole lot done. Rack, slap, and tap it. Good evening. Jennifer, I ain't gonna argue the fact. I'm sure you do get sick of that. I don't want to be in where it's knee deep of snow all year long. I realize that by about About March, I'm done with cold weather. I'm ready for it to warm up. The problem is I like for it to stay springtime, fall time all year. These last 2 months, end of June, July, and August, mainly July and August, is miserable here. Usually the first half of September is pretty tough, but generally we start getting on over into September. It gets like high 75. I mean, we ain't jacket weather, but it's like, oh, I can breathe again. Right now, I mean, you just gasp for breath. Tough.
Yeah, I almost died tonight a lot. I want to say,
You what?
I almost died.
When? This week? Hot, ain't it? We finally did fix the air conditioning unit in that Chevrolet truck. We've been riding in it, leaving that Jeep parked. Me and Michelle went up there at the river camp in that Jeep. Man, we got home. I walked by that Jeep now and spit on it. That thing like to burnt me up coming home. We ain't rode in it since. It's too hot for all that. I got beavers to trap down South Mississippi near Waynesboro. And I just hadn't went down there and went after them because I'm gonna tell you, it's too hot to be trapped.
And you seen Sparkle?
Yeah, there he went.
I think what down in the woods. Lemons. I'll give it, but wood.
Yeah, it's been stupid hot. It has that. Donnie, I hadn't got a lot of recurve bows. I've got a long bow or two that I've got, about 3 of them, 2 that I made, and I got a fiberglass one. But now I'm gonna tell you, my Black Hunter, 45 pounds, I ain't got no complaints out. That thing shoots sweet, really. You'd be hard pressed to find another bow that shoots as good as it. So this year, I'm hoping I get a chance to kill a deer with it. I'm gonna start out with my compound just because I want to kill some deer and I want to get a deer on the ground with it. Now that'll afford me the best opportunity. But once we get a deer bagged, we're gonna go into the recurve. I'm gonna try to kill a deer this year with a recurve. And we may get a wild hare and start finish one of these other bows out. If I ever get one of them hickory bows that I make where it shoots good and the arrow is tuned to it, we'll hunt with it. But we'll see. I ain't gonna make promises I can't keep. I already got too much going on. Right now, my focus is on them TP poles, and then I'm gonna work on this water line. That's my next 2 projects outside of normal knives and such going on. Oh, but I'm wanting to with the TP theme stuff. I do want to hunt recurve and do some bow hunting and black powder hunting. So we're gonna take the TP eventually up to the river camp and set it up there for a while. Probably throughout the late September, mostly through the month of October, possibly into November. Depends on how things are and how much time we're able to spend up there. Probably by late winter, we probably gonna bring it home so I can film stuff right here during the week in it. Because I want to film some series of cooking over the fire, different stuff. We'll be getting wild game, having squirrels and rabbits and such as that possibly. I'm gonna tell y'all I scored big today. I had to go to Walmart this morning. Told y'all the refrigerator was acting up, so I went to Walmart to buy the cans of refrigerant, that 134A. So while I was in there, I swung by the gun counter over there. I always go by and look to see what ammo because they'll get ammo in at reasonable prices. You know, a lot of our local pawn shops and gun shops, stuff's a little expensive and they order a good bit. And they had told me, they said 22 ammo is getting hard to get. They had one of them buckets in there, $99 for 1,400 rounds. Now, several years ago, I would have been like, I ain't paying that for it. Well, now that ain't a bad price. So, you know, might want to check your local Walmart. Now I realize that a lot of people, all them's junk bullets, so you got to shoot this. You got to when you dispatching critters on a trap line, as long as it'll pop and a ball of lead will come out of a barrel, you at point blank range, it'll work fine. The next thing is I needed a bunch of ammo to hand him so we can get out here with that cricket and we're gonna burn it up. We shot it the other day and he's getting where he can shoot that cricket pretty good. So that trigger time with him is what's gonna help him kill a deer with a bigger rifle.
Oh, can I tell him how many dinosaurs I know?
Ain't no telling.
What's the flatwoods? Chicken soldiers, dinosaurs, red, pterodactyl, sword. Please get swords. Stegosaurus, triceratops.
All right, he's through talking about his dinosaurs. I was reading through the comments. Does ironwood make a good bow? Is ironwood the what I call ironwood is a tree with looks like it's got muscles on it. I've got several sticks down there that I was gonna make some out of. The problem is some of them I didn't peel the bark off of, and they could have bug damage by now. I'm poorly. I need to go through all my bow staves and start pulling them down and looking. I've got several Osage and I left the bark on. I should have done that, but I can replace all that stuff in time if I need to. But anyway,
Swords, dinosaurs, and
Brody, you're gonna have to get on topic. We off of dinosaurs. You're gonna have to get on topic of what we talking about. We talking about hunting and fishing.
dinosaurs,
He's worried about some dinosaurs.
and rat.
We can't even eat a dinosaur.
Caroline.
I can't even eat no dinosaur, Brody. I was finna tell something a while ago, but he kept talking. I can't think of now what it was. So we'll just omit that. How many poles have I got so far? I have cut probably, I think I've got
I'm going
20, 18 or 20 cut. I've got one peeled. So I have enough poles cut to put it up. I think it don't hold, but I think I got to have 17. If I ain't mistaken, I have to look at the paper what it recommends.
You hear that pop?
Yeah, but I've got the poles all cut, and I actually cut a few extra ones in case there's one I want that's cat faced or got a problem, too weak, whatever. We're gonna get to peeling them. What I don't use for TP poles, I'm gonna make me a couple of deer hide stretching frames out of the rest. So we're gonna peel all of it, and not to mention I'm working on this wall, and I may use some of it for legs and stuff for the sink under here because I want that to look to match this. So we're gonna be doing that out of some of it, which I'm gonna use rough cut board. And I'm trying to decide if I want to put a window over there. I've got two windows, but I still got a half of mind that eventually one day I'm gonna wall this section up and that section. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I got two windows down there saved in case I decide to. But I've got enough poles cut now to redo the TP. And the poles I've got on the TP are fine. They just ain't long enough. They don't look right. So we're gonna take it down and re-erect it and get it a little more. I need to raise it up some where it fits a little better. Richard, I seen where somebody was talking about growing with dinosaurs. I get tickled anytime somebody starts talking about stuff being millions of years old. I'm sorry, I don't buy all that. They talk about them layers built up in the earth. Built up when the flood washed through him. Everybody has an opinion. Them dinosaurs ain't old as they think they are. If they was here today, I'd eat one. I'd see if it tastes like chicken. The mosquitoes is about to eat me up out here, y'all. Did the mosquitoes bite you?
No.
No.
I'm just being fries. Fries.
Well, they keep lighting on me and pulling Hyde up. You didn't let Roscoe in. He's standing there with his nose to the crack of that door, Puppy looking out and Roscoe looking in. Greg and they having an intelligent conversation. Call him. Go in. Go to bed. Roscoe, go to bed. Now he's over here. Call him.
We got another guest. Shut her down and talk.
Now we got Puppy out here too. Mike, you saw them bones in Macon. Brody said they what was it, a mosasaurus? Puppy, why are you moving the camera?
I hope y'all don't.
He's run over it twice. Brody, quit. Let them in. Roscoe, inside.
Come on, Roscoe. Stay out.
Brody. Brody, quit. It's all right. He didn't want the puppy to go in for whatever reason. Yeah, they said there was a mosasaurus. I'm gonna be honest with you. It didn't even look like all them bones fit together to me. I looked at them real close, and I was like, I ain't sold on it now. I mean, they generally was graduated down in size, but I can go out there in a driveway, find a bunch of round pebbles, and organize them from biggest to littlest, and say, oh. The only thing, y'all, that hadn't seen this, one side of them had a rounded and one side had a little dimple. But all the other stuff just kind of odd. I don't know. Maybe it really was. I don't know. I don't know if they found them all in one whack or if they, whatever. What? Quit. He likes to irritate. He's good at it. So what y'all want to talk about now? We done about run out of conversation material. Donnie said he heard someone say that a chicken was about the closest thing to a dinosaur. Well, I mean, common sense asks, how do we know that some of them things didn't have feathers or whatnot? I mean,
Some did.
the pterodactyl
Raptors had feathers.
raptors had feathers.
Oh, raptors.
Oh Lord.
That's my dinosaur name. Raptor and Brachiosaurus.
Dave, my biggest is 9 pounds. 9.5 pounds is the biggest one I've caught. I knew somebody that caught one locally. It was 14.
What do you say?
Oh, I hadn't been fortunate enough to get one.
Dinosaurs.
What?
Dinosaurs.
All right, we getting off dinosaurs. Yes, Mike Culpepper, we caught. I actually caught 2 grinnell on them baits. No. I missed one on one. I caught one and missed one. I did definitely catch one on camera. The first one I caught was on them red and green baits I'm fishing with. We fished a good while. We fished with several different baits. I had some hits on that dark black looking bait. It's black and blue, and they hit it a time or two, but the ones that I thought I was gonna catch were wrapped around a limb down there, and I couldn't get them. So I don't know what the deal was with that. The bugs and the mosquitoes is getting awful.
I think I just found a fossil.
Chicken hearts. I can't remember David Russian. Matthew Graves, bowfin don't die easily. They will die if you ain't careful because it's so hot right now. But they live in a mud hole. They are probably one of the hardiest fishes that there is. The problem is with a bowfin, when it does die, the meat starts breaking down fast. So, if you put water on it, it just speeds that up. So, I'll say this: it is possible for you to rinse off a piece of bowfin, but here's the kicker: if that fish has happened to have died, when you put water on it, it starts turning to mush like that. Even a good piece of fish that has been filleted out of a fish that was alive, and you know this is a fine piece of meat, and you put water on it, the clock starts ticking really fast. You've got about 15 minutes to get it in grease. Now, once you put the cornmeal on that and start shaking it, it dries it out enough that it slows that back down because it absorbs the moisture out of it. But whatever it is about those enzymes in that meat, water speeds up that breakdown process. So I tell everybody do not put water on it, and I don't put water on mine at all. I just it affects the taste of it. Now it don't make it inedible, but it ain't near as good. I promise you, even on a good piece of fish. There's just some people that they just cannot get past the fact that I just need to rinse it. I mean it. But here's the thing: the only thing you're rinsing off is the outside of that meat. You just filleted it out of the skin. What more are you gonna clean than what a paper towel will wipe off? You can wipe all the blood and absorb all the blood out of it with a paper towel and keep it dry. And there's no reason to put water on it. The rinsing something off with water is not really washing it. You're just wetting it. Water ain't going. I mean, you can knock a little of that. What it is they see the blood and they think that blood needs to be gone. But mop that out with a paper towel. I promise you, the paper towel will clean it just as well as water will, and you don't run the risk of destroying your meat, damaging it. But once it dies, it starts turning to mush, and you got about an hour after it dies, and then you forget it. If you start cleaning it and like when you wipe with a paper towel and it starts puddling meat up on there, I unless you have eaten it a bunch and you know, hey, I like this and I'm gonna eat it. I have eaten them that way. If this is your first one, throw it away. Do not eat it like that. Okay, just don't do it. They say gar is that way. I hadn't experienced gar being that finicky. I hadn't fooled with a lot of gar, but it's griddle is a tricky thing, and I realize a lot of people say, "Oh no, that's a shoe pecker. No, that's a mudfish." That thing, depending on where you are in the United States, it's a grinnell, and it's not grindle. It's grinnell. Uh, I don't know why some people mispronounce it and they call it a grindle, but it ain't a grindle. It's a grinnell. Um, but South Louisiana shoe peg over towards the north part of Florida, over in that area, they call them a cypress trout. A lot of places it's a mudfish, it's a dogfish, scaly cat. Up in the northern part of Alabama, I know Longbow Banjo calls it a scaly cat. Oh, Lord, it's got a bunch of different names, but most people don't know how to handle them. There was a lot of people here that didn't know how to handle them growing up. And it was because years ago they didn't know to keep it alive and they had too far to go. And by the time they'd haul it home in the back of a wagon, Well, it was burnt, wouldn't fit to eat. The brim, they could clean them, so. But they'll live in a mud hole. Mark Grinnell will hit about anything. I don't have good luck catching them on everything. I have caught them on spinner baits, H&H's, flukes, crankbaits. They hit them on whopper ploppers, Zara spooks. They're a predator fish, so anything that mimics a live bait in the water, they'll hammer it. Cut bait is the number one bait for Grinnell. They love cut bait, so they're an opportunist. You can catch them on about anything, but I don't have good luck. If I'm going, let me put it like this: you can be down there catching crappie on a jig and catch a Grinnell, but it's a fluke thing. You just gonna catch one here, there, and yonder, unless you're in a hole that is just absolutely full of them. And there's some holes around here like that. I've got some buddies of mine that they certain places that they fish on private land that is full of them. And because nobody fishes them out, nobody thins them out that much, and it's just got overstocked with them. And they can't even crappie fish without them things getting their crappie jigs. I have caught them on crappie jigs. Got videos of me catching them on crappie jigs. But when I go down there and I'm targeting them and I'm wanting to catch a bunch, I like plastic baits because I can throw it out there and ease it real slow on the bottom, because when the bite's a little finicky, the slower you move stuff, the better your chances are. And there's a lot of brush in this swamp. If you fish with spinner baits over and over and over up and down the swamp, you're going to lose a bunch of them. Same thing with crankbaits and all of that. If you're fishing in a lake somewhere that's got them, then you're fine. But down here in this swamp, with all the brush and the logs and the limbs that's in the water, a plastic bait is the way to go, just because you're less likely to lose it. You done lost your duck, you let the dog get his chicken, stuffed chicken. But anyway, that is the story on there. Now, when you get ready to cook a Grinnell, bring that fish home. Hey, quit screaming. Bring that fish home. Keep it alive till you get home. Fillet it. Take a wad of paper towels and wipe that fillet down. Flip it over. Wipe the other side down. Pick it up. Wipe your cutting board off good. Lay it back down. Cut the ribs out. Split it down the middle and then cut crossways all the way down. You cut it up into nuggets. If you cut it into these big old chunks, it don't fry as good. Cut it up into, I don't know, 1 inch square nuggets, whatever. And and then I bring it home and I just throw it in cornmeal, or yesterday we used that Superior catfish bread and put them in that and shake it, hot grease, and that's it. You can cook them several different ways. I have blackened them on the Blackstone. I've cooked them over the fire. It's gonna have a little different taste each way you do it. I like it all. You may not like it every way. The guaranteed way, especially down south, is deep fried, and it's good that way. Mike, them fish they like for that water to get still. All this year when we was having a lot of rain and that water was running a lot, it was hard to get them to bite. They just, for whatever reason, they finicky. Now you can take a limb hook, put cut bait on it, come back in the morning, and you'll have a Grinnell on there, even in swift water. But to stand there and fish and just catch them, you really need that still water. Any backwater that is just kind of still and not moving, that's where you want a Grinnell fish. I've never been to Ezell's in is that Lavaca, Alabama? Had never been down there. Well, not to eat. Brody, stop. Stop, I mean it.
I want the duck.
I said stop. Give me the duck. Give it him. They carry it in the house. Mark, I'm sure Grinnell will hit it. And that another thing is it has a lot to do with what the water naturally. This swamp has a lot of crawfish in it, and that's why I have a lot of luck with crawfish baits. Lizards work pretty good. We got a lot of them green anoles in the swamp. They fall off them limbs down in the water. I mean, they so the fish are feeding on them through the summer. A green lizard works. So you just got to realize that in my area, what is a natural something in the water that they're going to eat. So as it gets really hot, they roll the water. They really coming up gulping air. They'll come up and suck air, literally. So that's what they're doing when you seeing them roll. Usually, once they start doing that, the bite slows down a little. We caught them pretty good from we got down there about 8 o'clock. We fished from 8 till about 10. We fished till about 10:30, 11, but about 10, they kind of quit biting. And of course, we missed several. I mean, when they hit, they don't swallow the bait. Usually, when a bowfin hits, they grab that bait and just grab it and hold on to it with their teeth and they try to crush it. And they'll swim off with it, crushing it in their jaws. And then when they swim about 10 or 15 foot, then they'll suck it in. Well, that's when you want to set the hook. If you set the hook right as they bite it, now with treble hooks, you got a chance of hooking him right off. But with these plastic baits, you want to wait till he sucks it in. So when you set the hook, you coming back out and hook it into his mouth. And I set it hard. You about got to because they got a hard mouth. Um, but just the those baits work for me good here. The plastic baits, because that's naturally what's in our water. Those crankbaits, they should absolutely hit them. They may not hit as often. I don't know. Get in them backwaters at Steel, and that's where I'd be targeting. Caleb, yeah, that cut bait and that cane pole is a tried and true proven method of doing it. I remember when I was a kid, we used to go buy them big shiners. I mean them big old shiners, and we'd hook one on a hook. We'd have a cane pole with 50-pound test on it. And you throw it out there, and I mean, when one bit it, you'd see your cork go under, and you just watched, and that cork would when it run over yonder little ways, you just set the hook and then you just hold on. David, really, early in the morning is the best fishing here. Now I have had pretty good luck over late in the evenings at times, but it seems our best anything other than catfish, our best is in the mornings, really. Now late in the evening, the catfish will go to biting, especially early in the spring. Now the catfish will start picking up here in the fall, but now this fall I'm gonna spend a lot of time up at the river camp when we get all that situated. I'm gonna struggle this fall. I'm just gonna tell y'all. I gotta learn the water. I gotta learn the crappie. Quit. I've got to learn where the holes are. I got to learn everything up there. Not to mention, I'm going to be doing a lot of scout for hunting. So this fall, I may not have like the greatest amount of kills in my life and killing most animals, but the adventure part of it is going to be the greatest. Learning new territory, being places I've never been, just the walking around and walking up on something I've never seen before and going, wow, look at him. That's going to be the adventure of this area. But there's plenty of water to do stuff. I don't know how much of the big boat I'm going to have up there. We are going to take it. I may wind up having to put me a stainless steel prop. I've had people give me mixed emotions on that. A lot of people say, "Oh, don't put no stainless steel prop on that. You'll hit it and it'll break the foot off and the shaft." And But I know people doing exactly what I'm doing that are running stainless steel props and they bumping into stuff and it hadn't hurt anything. So I've that big motor prop, I bumped it up at Tom Bigby a time or two, just idling, easing up into putting limb hooks. You're gonna hit stuff, and now if you hit something running wide open, yeah, you're gonna tear up something. But I'm not gonna be doing that. So we'll see. Caleb said his daddy's broke many a pole setting a hook. Yeah, hey, I've seen them. The teeth will cut the line too. I've broke the line off. If they got their mouth turned in a certain way and they bit down on that line, it'll my camera popped up, and I think it was this camera down here. Most likely it's rabbits. I got two rabbits that's been under there eating them apples lately. I just had a banner popped up on screen. It was I2. One is up at the deer camp. Donnie, yes, grinnell is a native fish here. It is native to most of the United States as far as it's not in the cold water. They won't survive that water that runs out of the hills that's 50 degrees. They won't live in that, not year round. They like backwater, muddy water, swamp water, stagnant water. Anything out in the hills they can live in that warms up. Now, I don't know how well they tolerate the ice. Uh, I know these people catching them in parts of Ohio and parts of Michigan and different places a little over in the Midwest, but I know it gets cold through the winter up there. So apparently they can, I don't know if it's because some of that water is deep enough they go down. I don't know all the details there, but I know they're in some northern places. I don't know which streams. No, I know there's a lot of places up in northern Alabama and East Tennessee and all in there that they don't even have them. They're nowhere up there. So hard for me to answer all of that because I don't know that much about it. Yeah, Dave, we gonna definitely do that, and we did that this time. That old river run we own, it's got a few deeper holes, but it's not a real deep river. Uh, 20 to 25 foot's gonna be a really deep hole. Where I'm used to, like down where we've been on the Tom Bigby, you got some 30 to 40 foot holes. Anywhere from 25 to 30 was a decent hole up there. I'll be lucky now if I get 20, 25 foot. But I did find a couple, and we know some places to fish. But we'll do some more scouting. We'll get it all figured out. Lord, Lord, Lord. Brody left his Gatorade out here and I went in. He'll be back in a minute though. He'll pass through. We got stuff flying around about 9 o'clock. They are and them bowfin can get very big. Like I said, somebody said the record was 18 pounds and something in Mississippi. Um, I 14 is the biggest I've personally heard of caught. So I don't know what some of the biggest around here is. Probably a lot of the biggest ones have been caught and threw out on the bank somewhere. If you want to know the truth, I imagine the otters has caught some of the biggest ones. They better at fishing than I am. I try to get as good as an otter at fishing. If I ever get that good, I'll have it whooped in. David, today I was walking up the creek scouting where I'm gonna put my deer stand, or where I did put my deer stand, and I did see a pig waller up there. This club has a few pigs on it. Now it ain't overrun with them. They said several years ago they was overrun with them, but some of the other clubs surrounding them really got to baiting them up and trapping them, and they caught a lot of them, so they thinned them out. And they saying now you just get a pig here, there, and yonder straggle through. So we'll see what comes. I would love to shoot a pig or two, especially with my bow. So we'll see what happens. Puppy, what are you in? Mark, there may be more of them than you know. I don't know. They populate, I guess, pretty good. I don't know. I mean, they get fished for hard here where we're at between the humans and the otters. I mean, they get. I know a lot of y'all don't believe this, but here where I live, most everybody that fishes that swamp of grinnell is a prized possession. Like grinnell is what you want. You don't throw no grinnell away. I don't know of anybody personally that they're like, when I catch one, I throw him on the bank. Now I see people in the comment section on the internet that's like that, but these people that's been raised around this swamp know better. And we're not talking about poor hillbilly white trash type people. We talking about the people that got plenty of money that go down there and fish. They catch a grunnel, we keeping him. We're gonna fry him because they was raised and taught how to handle them like I was, and they know. So with that being said, there's a lot of people that fish farm down here. I mean, we have a lot of people. They go to that swamp just to catch grunnel or bowfin. We call them grunnel here. So with that, and then the otters, I know about 4 or 5 years ago when it got really, really dry here, me and Michelle walked the riverbank picking up old bottles and just whatever we could find out of just looking for junk. And the river itself was dry. There wasn't no water in it, but just the deep holes still had water in them. And you'd get to that deep hole, and they was fish heads laying all the way around it, and most of it grunnel, and they'd have about that much spine hanging out. I seen some heads that was that big around, and it was the otters had just wiped them out. So I don't know how long the lifespan of a grunnel is. I don't know if they grow 14 pounds in 3 or 4 years, or if it takes them 20 years to get that big. I don't have no idea. Uh, they may not be but 3 or 4 years old. Who knows? But anyway, Ricky Pierce, how are you? Donnie, they are a unique fish, and they not everywhere. And there's a lot of people that ain't gonna like them, and it don't matter how you cook it or how you prepare it, they not gonna like it, and that's understandable. I mean, for crying out loud, these people that don't like steak. So it's just the way it is, and it's not for everybody. But they are good fish. It's not like, oh, that's trash and it ain't, or it's like it's unclean or anything like that. These is just the fact they have to be properly handled. It takes a little bit more finesse handling this fish to know what to do with it. And if that's a deal breaker to some people, I mean, I totally get it. If you don't have a way to keep them alive and haul a cooler and keep them in water and all such as that, then you better off to leave them alone. So they ain't worth fooling with. I mean, that's sort of how I am with raccoon. I will cook a coon or two. I'll eat a few coons. But for me to stand back here and tell you, oh man, I love coon. Coon can be very good, but it is a lot of work in preparation. You got to cook that rascal for a while till he's falling apart, get him tender, and get the grease cooked off of it. So, yeah, I, it just, and for me, that kind of does it. But I done started yawning, y'all. It's about time to get off of here, shut all of this down. Time for me to go get a bath. CJ, y'all cut the line on it. I can imagine the first time I caught one, I didn't know nothing about them teeth. Reached in there and grabbed him in the mouth. Well, I didn't lip him. What I done was grabbed him on the head and stuck my finger in there to get my hook out. And so when he clamped down, I learned a valuable lesson fast. So yeah, I mean, I'm in the Grinnell Club. I don't think there's anybody that ain't, which that one nicked me on the finger uh yesterday. I didn't have my finger in his mouth. He just nipped and I had it too close. So anyway, I am fixing to shut everything down. Y'all look, thank y'all for joining in tonight. I want y'all to know I appreciate all of you that watch my channel faithfully. It means a lot to me. I couldn't do this without y'all. It'll never get lost on me. I appreciate all of you. Uh, we all got different opinions and come from different places and like different stuff, but I tell you this, I love all of you. It don't matter where you from, what part of the world you live in. We all here together trying to get out of this world and get to heaven one way or another. I love you. I mean that. I appreciate y'all watching my channel. I appreciate y'all watching all the crazy stuff we do. I know some of you ain't as interested in some things as others. There's some things I do just don't get no views. Seems like the fishing gets the most views out of anything, which it ain't getting no whole lot right now. But I want you to know I appreciate everything y'all do to watch, support. Those of you that buy t-shirts, that buy hats and buy stuff. Look, talking about merchandise. If you want hats, look up M4 Laserworks. Joey owns M4 Laserworks. He will make you hats, whatever you want with Spirit of the Outdoors on it. You can get any kind of Richardson hat, but you got to order it from him. He just gives me a commission off of it. If you want any of the shirts and other stuff, you got to go to the Etsy store. I generally link it in most videos, not always every video, but in the description box of a video, there's a link to an Etsy store. That's where you go find all of our merchandise, shirts, hats, cups, not our pottery. If you want pottery, you got to go to southernmudpottery.net. I'll link all of this stuff in description. So those of you that buy stuff from us, I appreciate it. Those of you that's buying knives and ordered knives, I appreciate it. I couldn't make it without y'all. That being said, thank y'all for watching tonight. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one.